Second show of the day, Petey. Tucson Roadrunners. The Arizona Coyotes lose 6-1 to Shayne Gostisbehere and the Carolina Hurricanes in the first game since Bill Armstrong traded away 7 players at the NHL trade deadline. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes postgame show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah, here with Petey. Craig's at Mullett. He'll be calling shortly. Sean's also here. I should give him more credit.
Thank you. No, you don't need to don't frame it like that. I just want acknowledgement.
Yeah, Sean is here. We're here, and we're going to talk about what we can from this 6-1 loss.
Yeah, this one's going to be hard to dissect for a lot of reasons. First of all, Carolina's better. They're playing meaningful games, trying for playoff home ice positioning, and they're acquiring assets to make them better at the draft. At the trade deadline. Sorry, the Coyotes aren't doing that, and even trying to acquire a few players today that came in the late Calgary trade. There's no chance they can get here. So you're getting on the phone to Tucson. Then Fisher gets sick, so you need another player to come in. Yeah, there's just no chance. And we talked about it. The only time this team's going to have a lot of trouble. This last 20 games, they're going to have a lot of trouble. And unless their goaltender is elite, they're going to lose a lot of hockey games. And tonight, Rhuigi just wasn't. So you look at this small, we're going to try to find small victories in some of these games. This isn't the one. And the biggest reason is these guys haven't played with each other. They have new partners on defense. They have new lines up front. There's no chemistry. And by the way, I don't want to gloss over the part of the trade deadline when we talk about the people. One of the reasons this team has played so well is because how close this team was and how they pulled the rope together. And you take some of the players that helped bring that culture to this room and you take them out. And that's, Bugstead, Ghost, Stetcher. Chychrun's been a part of this organization for a very long time. I mean, you take those guys out. There's a lot of people left that room in the last couple of days.
I know.
So it's going to be really hard, and that's just heartening. And you lose your friends and your teammates, and you look around the room and you go, "We don't have a chance," and that's really, really hard.
Yeah. So
I think, unfortunately, this is probably what we're going to see a lot more of the last 20 games, and I'm going to liken this back to 2003, 2004.
Wow. That was before I even lived here.
This is, what player they were looking for back then? That was Sidney Crosby. You heard of Sidney Crosby? But anyway, this is around that time. And the Coyotes won 2 games in their last 20. And the roster is very similar looking. And you look at the 2015 team, roster was very similar looking. It's going to be really hard for this team to win games right now. And I know people don't want to hear it, but it's going to be really hard.
Yep. But
there's gonna be a lot.
It's okay, and the chat knows. Dishonor for Connor, bad for Bedard. We're all bought in. We are. PD, we really need. I'm gonna open my 4 Peaks because the vibes are low. I'm trying something new. Oh my gosh, a bubble just popped up. I thought that was gonna go everywhere. This is the Impale Ale Pine Citrus Classic. I've never had this.
And I will say these specialty beers that we have from the 4 Peaks. There's sometimes they're interesting flavors.
Cheers to 20 more games. We survived the trade deadline. And cheers and a toast to the departed Coyotes. Cheers.
DP's got his golden lager.
That's good. It's a little hoppy if you're not like a IPA person. But it's good. It's like IPA, but
is the citrus there? Is there
flair.
A hint of? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
Christina, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Said, let's raise a glass for those lost at the trade deadline. This one was good for the tank, bad for the soul. Eyes on Bedard. Christina, I couldn't have said it better myself. That was a great summary. But we should dive into it. Let's talk numbers. You might throw up looking at these. Coyotes outshot 42-18. I know this is the Coyotes way, but this is more than a 2-to-1 shot ratio. Here's another disgusting one. Carolina 3 for 4 on the power play. Arizona 0 for 3. So just I will say they did hold their own in shots to start in the first period somehow.
7-7.
yeah, somehow they got out of that one. But that's all I have to say about the numbers, honestly.
Yeah, it was 7-7 after the first, but they score on 2 of their first 3 shots, and that's where we talked about Vejmelka's got to be better. When the scoring is like they poured it on later. This is a very good hockey team. Very good. They smother you. And I mean smother means when you get the puck, as soon as the Coyote gets the puck, there's 1 or 2 hurricanes on them. They have no time or space to make a play. They smother you. And watch, they do that better than any team in the league. So that's apparent when you see 18 shots on goal, which is pretty par for the course for the Coyotes. The power play numbers, when you see 3 for 4, what I want you to think about here is some of the personnel that this team lost. And you're looking at guys that kill, even Fisher out of the lineup tonight with illness, Bukestad, Stetcher. Like, these are guys that play those minutes. And you've got guys that haven't played it a lot getting those minutes. You've got guys getting called up from Tucson that haven't played a penalty kill in the National Hockey League before. And then, we're going to throw you against the top team in their division, the Carolina Hurricanes. So it's almost not fair. So that number doesn't surprise me. I don't think they killed very well today. They're really aggressive chasing the puck around, and it ended up costing them, and it ends up in their net. But it's one of those games that's hard to talk about. Like, you look for bright spots, and you talked about some of the players that got called up today, and Milos Kelemen, I didn't notice him. You got Sebastian Day. Again, don't notice him. Like, it's hard when you don't have the puck to get noticed. The only way you can get noticed when you don't have the puck is to defend extremely well, and I don't know if this team did that tonight.
Yeah, not a ton of bright spots. We should go over your keys. A, so I don't forget, but B, because you mentioned smothering, and that was one of the things in your keys, and we saw a couple of bad turnovers.
The focus, the deadline is over, and you were hoping that this wouldn't affect them, and I clearly think it is, and I think the NHL,
how could it
shame
not?
on them for having games on.
Like, Carolina, they brought in Gostisbehere. I don't even think they made any major moves. If they had any lineup changes, it was additions, not subtractions. Whereas you look at the Coyotes and their lineup today versus 1 week ago, it's completely different.
Yeah, and I think them trying to have focus today was nearly impossible. So you can go with this. They weren't ready to play. It's hard, and I can't blame them. No games on trade deadline game, Gary. Please add it to next year. None. No turnovers. Are you out of your mind? Like, there were so many turnovers in this game. I don't know what they had listed in the
14 giveaways they had listed to 4, by the way. So
there was
that's
that many in some of these
disparity.
shifts. So that I'm not buying that number, but they didn't get that one. And I tell you what, Carolina creates more turnovers than any team in the league, so they shouldn't be ashamed of that against this team. They're outstanding at that. That's one of their hallmarks of this team, but they didn't stop the turnovers. And Veggie, they needed him to be elite Veggie. They needed him 50 save Veggie, and he just wasn't. And it's not that he was bad, but there are a few of those he would have liked back. He wasn't Veggie.
It's not on him. They had 42 shots on goal. Like, what can a guy do? But there was one where he just literally wasn't looking.
Yeah, he wasn't
Petey could go on a reverse VH rant tonight, but he won't because we don't have the energy to. But just know that was discussed while we were watching. Yeah, and a lot of the games this season were won by Veggie or Ingy.
100%.
And it can't all be on them. It can't. But Veggie wasn't Veggie tonight, like you said, and it just resulted in this, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess this is one of those shows that you could record today, and you can repeat this probably 18 more times because you're going to see outshot, outplayed, outchanced, and just beaten. And this is what happens after the trade deadline at teams chasing a playoff and teams are not. The buyers versus the sellers are going to separate themselves even more over the next 3 to 4 weeks. And it's going to be difficult for teams like Columbus, like Anaheim, like Arizona to get wins.
Anaheim's up 3-1 with 5 minutes to go.
I know, they just scored a power play goal. So go, duck, quack, quack. Go. Like, so, but
Sean almost spit out his beer.
They're going to be within 1 point of the Coyotes if they can hold on, and I don't want to jinx it because there's a lot of time left. But this is what happens. You separate. These teams are already better.
Yeah.
Like, Boston's better, Carolina's better, and then they get more good players, and the Coyotes lose players. Well, what the hell do you think is going to happen? It's going to be this.
Yeah.
You're going to get your ass kicked.
Yep.
And I feel bad for Andre because he sat there today at the scrum saying, well, we're just going to prepare him the way we always prepare him. We're going to do what we have to do. Who's ever on the roster, we're going to try to get him to play. What do you do? You're completely outmanned. There were so many guys, and we haven't even talked about Kesselring yet, but we have, not only are there American leaguers playing their hearts out, and they're going to get a lot of minutes and good for them to get looks, but you got a kid playing in his first NHL game. Like, this is what you're going to see. I'm sorry to be the bringer of bad news, but unfortunately, there's going to be a lot more nights like this, and therefore, thus, the Wheel of Fantasy.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, you may have noticed.
So the Wheel of Fantasy is creeping in. The dust has been cleared, and the Wheel of Fantasy is a step closer.
We're not getting there tonight.
Not yet.
But just know it's there. It's waiting. It's in the wings. Much like the Tucson Roadrunners are waiting in the wings for their call-up, so is the Wheel of Fantasy.
Wheel of Fantasy. And for those of you that haven't seen it,
get ready.
Get ready.
Were you going to say something, Sean?
Oh, I did. I said me.
Oh.
me. That is one of the funnest parts of going to a Tucson Roadrunner game, by the way.
Matt McConnell said something tonight. So tonight's Coyotes roster, 4,057 man games of NHL experience, the lowest in Coyotes history. And Craig got into a dialogue with fellow beat writer Arpan Basu on Twitter, and he did some math of the guys on the IR. You know, we talk about the Coyotes legends, Ring of Honor, guys who've never played, Voracek, Datsuk, etc. And he did the math. So adding up, Andrew Ladd, 1,001 games, Weber, 1,038, Voracek, 1,058, Little, 843, total 3,940 games played among those players who are on Coyotes IR or whatever versus tonight's 4,057. So very, very close.
100 games separating a 20-man roster versus their 4 buyout.
I can't blame these guys. Like, it's nothing. I like, we can't even be hard on them tonight. I just can't even feel like we can. And I'm not saying we haven't.
It's not fair. And it's funny. And I'm going to talk about what it's like inside the room because I've been there. I know we talked about 2003-04. Rick Bowness takes over as the coach that wins 2 games. Dave Tippett in 2015. Same thing happened. Gutted the room. Lose. They have players on the roster that never played another game in the National Hockey League after those times. Try going in the coach's room. Dave Tippett, and I'm sure you're listening, Tip, because I'm sure that's what you're doing on your Friday night listening in. So you after you lose a game like this, you are livid because there's nothing you can't exit
so
without
Craig
this.
Just texted us. He hasn't even talked to Bear yet. Normally he talks to Bear right away. So I don't know what that says. Because
you go into the room and you go, coaches coach. They want to make players the best they can possibly make them. And you know what? You want to win and you want to have a competitive advantage and go, even if they're close or even if you have a lesser team, you go, okay, well, if we try this, we might have a chance. I'm telling you right now, until the coach accepts it, because it happened to Rick Bowness and it happened to Dave Tippett, until the point comes that you understand, we don't have a freaking chance. We cannot win. There is no way we can win. So once you realize that and you go, okay, we're just going to try real hard and we're going to put some guys out there and we're trying to teach them in practice and do the best we can. Until you get to that point, you are literally banging your head against the wall and breaking VCRs. Like, well, you guys know what VCRs are. They're a video equipment we used to watch games on.
I know what a VCR is.
So those get thrown about the room and people are angry until you finally go, we're done. And it's not going to happen for Bear today. It's not going to happen for Bear on Sunday. But 4 or 5 games from now, Bear's going to go, there is nothing more I can do. There's nothing I can do. We're just going to go lose again. And I'm sorry that go watch Bill's interview on all the draft assets that are coming and the future's bright, all of those great things, because the next 20 games are going to suck. And this is the way it's going to be. And I'm so sorry for everybody. Part of a rebuild, and this is the worst part after the trade deadline. These last 20 games, you just got to get through, put a number 20 on your fridge and sticky notes and start peeling them off every game, counting down to 0 when the ping pong balls come, because this is it.
Wow, positive PD is nowhere to be found tonight. Holy
I'm sorry,
shit.
I wasn't intending to do this either. I
know.
So
okay, well, there's 1.5 positives.
Mm-hmm.
The half positive, and it's not really a positive, but it kind of is. happy for Shayne Gostisbehere to get a goal in his first game with Carolina. What an odd thing for him. His first game is against his former team. He didn't even have to fly anywhere yet. He just had to walk down the hall. And is, I guess if we're looking toward the draft lottery, then it doesn't matter that he's scoring against the Coyotes. Actually, he's helping the tank, if you will. But really happy to see him get a goal tonight.
Yeah, and the other thing you look at is he doesn't have to carry the load for this team. They've got so many weapons from the back end. Brent Burns is going to be their offensive leader. He just is, because that's what Brent Burns does.
Yeah, he had a good night.
But Gostisbehere had more shot attempts than any other player on the whole entire Carolina Hurricane team. He is going to be an added position player to an already very good team. Happy for him. And to see his smile on the bench, that made the trade worth it, because he's like he wants to be relevant again.
He said that to Craig to feel that pressure to win and have a chance to compete for a Stanley Cup.
And you want him to have success his first game with a new team, because it helps bond you to your teammates. It helps makes you welcomed in the room. The worst thing you do is you go in there as a guy that they've had to give assets up for, and you go in there and you struggle, or you give up goals, or you don't get on the score sheet. You're trying so hard to be a help to your new team. And he broke through on his first game. I'm really happy for him, because that is a monkey off his back already, and he can just go play hockey now.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to see what he can do for this team, because he's not asked to be the number one power play guy, the number one defensive offensive guy. So I am happy for him, and he's going to be fun to watch in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other positive, and there was one, the Coyotes did score, and it was kind of a milestone, if you will. Lawson Crouse, his 20th goal of the season, tying his career high. He got 20 goals last year. Fortunately, he suffered an injury at the end of last season. His attempt to get past that cut short. Glad to see him get on the score sheet. He's been a little bit quiet offensively, I feel like, the last little stretch here. And even better, his dad is in town.
I know.
On a guy's trip, and he had his dad and a bunch of his dad's friends in attendance. So if you're going to attend a 6-1 game to watch your son play, at least your son is the one scoring the goal. So really happy for Lawson Crouse to get that number 20. And he came on the show before the season started. He said his goal is 30. 10 more goals in 20 games is a big ask, but I do feel confident that he'll break his all-time goal high and get past 20.
Yeah, and
barring injury again. Knock on wood.
Give it up for him, for Lawson Crouse, because this morning when you get up, there's a chance you don't go to bed in your bed in Arizona. And that's not a joke.
I felt about Lawson Crouse possibly getting traded, that one would have
because it got on Twitter. You saw it out there. His name started. I don't think there was ever a realistic chance that he was leaving, but it was out there.
I think teams were asking about him.
Absolutely, they were. For sure, they were. Now he's a 2-time 20-goal scorer on a team that doesn't score goals. Can you imagine if he played with an offensive team that's in the top 10 in scoring? Absolutely, people were asking for him. So you get up at 9 o'clock in the morning, or you go to the rink at 9 in the morning, and you don't know if you're going to be on a plane the end of the day. I can't imagine the mindset of some of these players, especially the ones that could be traded, and his name did come up. And then you go out and play like you did tonight. It's an absolute bright spot. He's a guy that came in here and said he was going to get 30, and it's
possible.
It's possible. This team's not going to score a lot of goals in the last 20, but it's not
impossible.
Someone
has to.
Not impossible.
Yeah.
He's already got 20. He's going to break his career high in points and goals. And by the way, he's 25. So good for Lawson Crouse. I'm so happy for him, because I don't care what anybody says. He had to have crossed his mind. What if today? What if today?
Yeah.
So I'm so glad he's back. And didn't get traded, and he's able to get on the score sheet and in front of your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
Added bonus.
Awesome
so
stuff.
Good on you.
Congrats to Lawson, and for all the reasons we just said. It was kind of a no-brainer. I don't know who else would have been, but Lawson Crouse is tonight's DraftKings king of the game. The Sheriff, 1 goal, 3 shots. So congrats to Lawson Crouse on being tonight's DraftKings king of the game. Someone needed to wear the crown. I'm glad someone stepped up to do it. But, we didn't get a Schmaltz and Keller situation tonight we've been used to. I've been beating that drum of betting on them. But luckily, Sean had an unreal night on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Sean, why don't you tell the people? By the way, sick hat. We'll talk about that in a little bit, where we got that. But Sean, tell us about your night on DraftKings.
Yeah, I had myself one hell of a night. A across both the Coyotes game and the Suns game. I had a 4-leg parlay, Suns money line, Devin Booker plus 30-plus points, KD 20-plus points, and Chris Paul over 9.5 rebounds. Put 10 on that, won 120. Then I put 5 on Ghost anytime goal scorer.
Wow.
Hit that, got paid 21 some change. And then I had 10 on Vejmelka over 33.5 shots, and I forget how much I won on that, but it cashed. So I had a nice little sweep, 3 for 3 day.
Love it.
Unreal.
Of course, on the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
Yeah. Sean was having an unreal night. So I'm glad Sean can come out on top tonight, unlike the Coyotes. But if you want to win yourself some money, like Sean, you can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code PHNX. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. As we said on the top of the show, we are drinking 4 Peaks. I am drinking the Impale Ale, Pine Citrus Classic, Petey, of course, the Kit Lifter, Sean, Golden Lager, and we're downtown Phoenix right now. It's First Friday. There's a lot of traffic, and it's not just because of First Friday. It's because M3F Fest is going on right now as well, which is a really fun event. And our friends at 4 Peaks will be out at M3F Festival March 3rd, today and 4th. So grab your tickets at m3ffest.com. Even if you missed today, tomorrow you can go.
But we're not going right from here.
You know, I think it's been a long day for us.
Like, no.
Sorry. But enjoy a Wow Wheat beer while you're there. Must be 21 or older to enjoy responsibly.
That was a good DP.
What do you do?
SDP.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome.
I do like it too.
All right. Well, Craig's on his way. But before he gets here, the media did have a chance to catch up with Bill Armstrong before this game. And I know the vibe of this one maybe has been a little bit more subdued or negative than we're all used to. But it is hard to go through this big upheaval, I guess. So I want to kind of let Bill Armstrong tell us what the thought process was behind today. And we saw the plethora of draft picks come in. They already were stacked with them. They got a ton more at this trade deadline. And it kind of begs the question, like, what the hell do you do with all of those? So Bill Armstrong spoke today about what to do with all those picks.
Well, that's part of the game plan. That's what we went in and we really set out to do. And it's really interesting because it probably has never been done before in the National Hockey League. And, you know, when we were going through this process, we were studying a lot of things. One of the ones we studied were the Houston Rockets, actually, and they talked about how they went out and bought a player. And that was always our thought process. If we can stock enough picks back there, you know, when someone comes up at the draft, we're able to do that and go out and buy players at a certain time. But also, when we go into drafts, it enables us to move up on the draft floor and enables us to get some really quality, players in the draft with that amount of picks.
Yeah, it is. It's just a lot of draft picks, but you do have to think about, what they did last year where they packaged a couple to move up. Think about it that way. Think about using picks to buy players. He put it that way. It's just, when you're sitting here and you're like, you're a fan of Troy Stetcher, you're a fan of Nick Bukestad, and you're like, what is it all worth it? You got to think about that a little. Yeah,
and I want to say that too really quick because I got challenged on Twitter a little bit on that because I was talking about how far in the future this is going to go, and someone said, yeah, but they can use those assets to either move up in a draft or buy somebody else. And you're absolutely correct. You can, and that's what Bill just basically said. You can use all of these. The chance that the Coyotes are going to pick all of the picks that they have over the next 3 years is
very unlikely.
Very unlikely, almost zero. Like they're going to, those picks will either be bundled to get a higher pick or to get a prospect or something. So it's still going to be
or traded down the line for when they're ready to, win. But speaking of the rebuild timeline, Bill also talked about where he thinks the Coyotes are right now. If Petey earlier kind of gave his thoughts on where the Coyotes are, and Bill said where he thinks the Coyotes are.
Someone asked me, where are you in the rebuild? And, I answered the other day about 40%. I'd say with the amount of assets that we added, we're getting to 50%. Like if you look at one thing that we've fully completed is that if we sat here and did nothing to 2026, the end of that draft, we would be in great shape. We just would draft, and those are all in place. So if we just simply follow the process and keep drafting well and keep doing what we're doing, we're going to be in great shape.
We've moved from 40 to 50% in the rebuild.
Halfway there.
Let's go. Hey, we're halfway there.
Oh, wow. Little Bon Jovi, look at that.
Can you believe
living on a
young person like me?
I'm moderately impressed.
Why are you booing?
Not to make this about Buffalo, but the city of Buffalo hates John Bon Jovi because he tried. He was one of 3 people who attempted to buy the Buffalo Bills. It was him, at the time, future President Donald Trump, and our current owner, the Pagulas, and John Bon Jovi wanted to move the Bills to Canada. So Buffalo,
that would have been very popular.
Buffalo hates him.
Anyway, Craig, welcome in.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
So that was a game.
That was a game.
Yeah.
The only thing we're done with the game except for one thing.
One thing. What's that?
What's the one thing?
This. That's it. And that's the only thing we haven't talked about today.
Why don't you just ask him instead of queuing me up?
Well, I just wanted. Did you get a chance to talk to Michael Kesselring?
Yeah.
Is the only thing we haven't talked about is his. We haven't brought up his name yet. So can you give him some flowers?
And there's obviously not much of an evaluation yet. They like his size. They like the way he moves the puck. He's got a big shot. We'll see. You got one game, and as Andre said after the game, we'll go back, review the tape, take a look at it, and figure out what we have to work with there. So, but exciting for him, obviously, to make his NHL debut. Crazy way to do it. You get traded, boom, you're in the lineup for a different team. You don't know anyone, except, as he revealed to me, his Bakersfield teammate, Jason Demers, who he said was a great mentor to him in Bakersfield, almost like a father. And, of course, I tweeted that, adding, which is to say, Jason Demers is very old.
Wow.
Because I'm hoping you'll see it. But that's kind of a cool connection because Jason Demers obviously was a very popular personality in his time with the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. With Kesselring
Hard to evaluate
for me.
Game
hard to evaluate, but there were a few bright spots, and I thought he skated pretty well for a big guy. That I was surprised at how well he moved the puck a few times, defended well. He was a one-on-one down low. It wasn't Natchez, but it was one of their top players offensively on a one-on-one play down by the net, and he defended well. Good stick, brought him into the boards, separated the players. It was just a textbook, easy, smooth defensive play near the net. So. I'm not going to overstate anything. I'm just saying I was surprised how well he moved, and I can't wait to see a little bit more of him because a lot of these guys that get thrown in these trades, you go, oh, well, it's a throw-in. Well, we'll see. And I said today how little they had in their cupboards for defense prospects. Put him on the list. He is now a prospect.
And he was about probably the only guy in the dressing room tonight with positive feelings after this game because, of course, he was making his debut. We also spoke to Lawson Crouse, who tied his career high in goals, but talking to Lawson Crouse was honestly, guys, like attending a funeral. Yeah. He was they were down today. They lost a lot of teammates, and that's going to have an impact on you. I'm sure you guys talked about this, but he was
call Gary. You're the only guy on this show.
I know.
Get rid of. You're the only guy on the show that has the direct pipeline to the commissioner of the league. No games on trade deadline day. It's ridiculous.
I hate it. I agree. I hate it.
There's nobody. It's ridiculous.
Nope.
It's awful.
Okay.
And we talked to Andre about it as well afterward. I just basically said, how do you prepare a team?
There's no chance.
This situation. He said, well, not like we did tonight, obviously.
How many guys were at the morning skate on the ice in the morning skate today?
I know you were out there like,
I was there.
Everyone's there.
I talked to him. I high-fived Stetch on the way to the ice today. For real. And they're gone. Like, how the hell do you... they're at the morning skate, and now they're not. Like, I don't think it's fair. Sorry, that's another rant. I said I wasn't going to do anymore. Sorry.
No, but I completely agree with you. It's
not fair to coaching staff, player.
It's so easy to fix. Just
yeah.
I mean, come on.
What were the game? 5 games today? Put them tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And on that note, we do have a $5 super chat from Altex. Thank you for your super chat. Said, feeling weird about the deadline, not gonna lie, I'm gonna forget about the Bugs jersey when it comes in the mail and start being sad about it. Oh no, it's still a good jersey to have, Altex.
And there's still a chance that he becomes a Coyote again. Don't discount that until after July.
Yeah.
Never say never.
Petey's just holding on to hope.
Yeah. I know. I've already texted him, said I'll pick him up at the airport. I'll do his dry cleaning.
Someone today in the Discord, when you were going to practice and Craig said you were there, someone said, oh, he's not driving Bukestad to the airport. It's funny. But we have another $5 super chat from our friend Charles Woodall Pike. Said, grateful for y'all doing multiple shows a day this week. Pack therapy with the PHNX fam and the community really helps with these rough stretches. I agree, Charles, and it wouldn't be the same if not for everybody in the chat right now or on Twitter and the Discord. We really do appreciate all of you. Be sure to give this video a like, by the way, while you're here on YouTube or wherever you listen to audio. Craig, did Bear have anything else to say about Kesselring, or just we'll watch the tape sort of thing?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, what are you going to say after one game? And it's not even a game where you're excited to evaluate a prospect. It's the game right after the trade deadline where you're trying to worry about so many other things, right? Like how do I get my team in an emotional state to play a game after this day? So, yeah, I don't even think it's fair to talk about him or what he brought at this point. We'll let him play a few games.
And that's the same thing we said, Craig, about the ability to talk about X's and O's in this game is just, it's irrelevant.
Yep.
This is one of those games you need to move on, and you hope you can get the team to gel and find some common ground and find some little successes and wins along the way. And when I say wins, I don't mean winning of games. I mean the power play was better
Moral
today.
victories.
Yeah, or we really got good on the
Emotional
forecheck today, or we did something good today, because I have a feeling the next 20 games you're going to need to find those kind of things, and you weren't going to find it tonight.
Yep.
Not at all. We just showed some video of Bill Armstrong speaking to the media before tonight's game. Did you have any other takeaways from the conversation with Bill?
Well, I thought it was interesting what he said about having all that dead money on the roster. And listen, we've talked about this before, but there's a lot of criticism coming from around the league about the way the Coyotes have handled those contracts. And I get it. I get the argument. But Bill's point was, we do business around here. We're staying within the rules. We're not going to apologize for that. And I don't blame him. As long as this is the rule. Listen, there are teams that are in a different situation that can really take advantage of their money. The Coyotes don't have a lot of the luxuries of some other franchises. So if this allows them to get any kind of competitive advantage within the rules, go for it. When they change it, fine. And I get the sentiment to change it, but this is within the rules now, so use it.
Yep, absolutely. Well, with the lineup tonight, the decimated lineup, it wasn't just a decimated lineup for the Coyotes. It was also one for the Roadrunners. They went with something a little different, the 11-5, if you will.
Yeah, not the 11-7.
The 11 forwards, 5 defensemen still took their game to overtime. Unfortunately, lost in overtime to San Diego, but did get a point. So talk about a challenge for them as well. It has a whole trickle-down effect on the entire organization.
How did Michael Carcone do tonight?
I can look
but
at it right
while
now.
we talk about that jersey is absolute fire.
Unreal.
Like, I don't know what jersey that is. I got to get on the website. That is, never seen it before. That is phenomenal. So I tell you what, those Roadrunners have some fantastic sweaters. Anyway, we got to look it up.
Yeah, but poor Roadrunners. We're talking about, oh no, and obviously like they didn't go through all the same stuff. They lost a few of their teammates as well, Cam Dineen, Dyson Mayo recently, but it has a whole trickle down effect on the entire organization.
And that's tough when they're in 7th place trying to be in a playoff spot and compete in the playoffs. This is going to be really hard on that team. And I know we've got some reinforcements coming in. The Calgary deal, you're going to have 2 more players coming in here in the next 48 hours, which will help. But boy, that didn't help what their roster looks like either.
Yeah, and hopefully you get Josh Brown back soon too here as well. Then you could really, you could see it filter through the organization once he's healthy. Yep,
Carcone did get a goal tonight. So
I think he needs 2 more points to set the all-time single-season record.
Yeah, that's his 26th. So we're keeping tabs on that one.
We should have the countdown clock like they did for Ovi. We should have the
for Carcone. Yeah. That's our big milestone.
That's good for him. We do need to go down the I-10 sometime in this next 20 games because there might be one of the few bright spots that we can talk about. So.
One other trade deadline related topic I just want to bring up briefly. Obviously, we've talked a ton about Jakob Chychrun and the trade. But today he did put out a statement on Twitter, one that, the classic written on a note on your phone. But I do want to just take a second to read and acknowledge the statement from Jakob Chychrun. He said, "I want to take a moment to express my gratitude for the incredible 7 years I spent with the Arizona Coyotes. It's been a privilege to represent the team on and off the ice, and I will always cherish the great memories from my time in AZ. I want to say thank you to management and all of my coaches and trainers for believing in me and providing me with the support and guidance that shaped me into the player and person that I am today. I'm very grateful for all you have done for me. To my teammates, some of the best memories of my life were with you guys. It was an honor to play with each and every one of you and happy to have made lifelong friends. Finally, I want to extend a special thank you to the fan base. Your passion for the Coyotes made playing in front of an incredible experience, and I am very fortunate to have been a part of your community. Arizona will always occupy a special place in my heart. Thank you again to everyone who made my time with the Coyotes an amazing ride. Jakob Chychrun." So that's a note from Chychrun. Really nice to hear. Craig, I know you got to go, so we'll let you go, but we will talk to you on Sunday.
All right, guys. 20 to go, is it?
20 to go. Almost there.
Yeah. Not as close as I'd like to be. All right, guys.
It's okay. Bye, Craig.
See you, Craig.
Sunday.
And we'll talk about the Anaheim Ducks. They got the win.
They did. But wait, can we just talk about Chychrun for one more
of course.
thing? I thought that was really classy of him.
It is.
We've seen a couple of guys. We talk about, Phil Kessel's thing where he didn't even acknowledge the Coyotes. And, for all the drama with the Jakob Chychrun situation, it was nice to read that note, and the fact that he acknowledged every part of this franchise, from the trainers, the coaches, the teammates, to the fans.
Yep.
That meant a lot.
I will have to say,
it read and felt very genuine.
I've been critical of Jakob Chychrun during this show on some of the way he handled the press conference at the beginning of the season and some of the difficulties he's had over the year. But as his on the ice performance, I still think this was the best season he's had as a 200-foot player for the Arizona Coyotes was this year. I think he's really evolved into a much better hockey player than what we saw, years ago. Even when he was just an offensive powerhouse, he's now added the defensive side of the game. For him to come out with that, I think it was heartfelt. I think it was meaningful. And you know what? I'll say this. I think it was important that he did that. And I think it was important that he recognized, because there was some animosity between management and Chick, or coaches and Chick. Or we don't know exactly because we're not in the room, but I think this will help people around here go, okay, let's root for this
It's
kid.
Closure.
It is. It's closure.
Yeah,
and good for him for that. That's you know what Craig always says, that's adulting, and that was a really good move.
Yeah, I was happy to see.
Some guys will say nothing. He had the foresight to actually put that out there. Good for him. Yeah. Everybody can move on. Let's root for Jakob Chychrun now. He had a great legacy here in Arizona. Let's root for him. Let's hope he does well. Good on Chick for giving everyone a little bit of closure, including himself. Yeah,
absolutely. Listen, we've been kind of down, and we need to find joy where we can.
Let's find some joy.
And I have something for you.
For joy?
And Sean's going to bring it to us. And it's the Circle K snack cart, because this is the next great thing that we have going on at PHNX. The freaking Circle K snack cart. Are you kidding? We're just getting it wheeled in live on our show right now. There they are. Petey's been waiting for the orange slices all night. Ooh, you know what I'm doing? The peach rings. Oh my God. I went salty last show.
I did salty as well.
We're going to go sweet tonight.
We are. But I'm trying so hard to be healthy, and sometimes you just have to enjoy a snack. You just have to enjoy a snack.
You don't have to eat the whole bag at once.
No, and so you don't necessarily have to look at what's in them, but we gotta enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna break mine open later, but go for it.
The Circle K snack cart. By the way, orange slices are not made with real oranges.
Yeah, but they're still delicious. We're so excited to partner with our friends at Circle K, and to kick things off, we've teamed up with an amazing giveaway opportunity. Text, you guys, literally get out your phones right now. Text PHNX to 31310 for an opportunity to win a $500 gas card. Are you kidding me?
Driving around downtown today, I could have used it.
Yeah, 31310. Text PHNX for an opportunity to win a $500 gas card. See show notes for details. Bless the snack cart. We really needed it.
Christina, she had a wow going, so she's got the 4 peaks going, but she does not have a Circle K
She
snack
doesn't.
cart rolling through her living room right
No. We're very lucky. I'm not surprised you went for the orange slices because orange creamsicle is your favorite OG's flavor. You're all about the orange. Money?
Unreal.
Money?
Because sometimes, and I'm going to get into, I don't snack like this often. I'm going to be as honest as I can. When you get a gelled fruit snack, you want it, it's very, very, very important that it has the texture that is very soft, pliable, chewable snack treat.
Yes.
You don't want that, oh my God, this is going to be hard and I'm going to rip my teeth out. This, surprisingly, unbelievably soft.
That was an unreal analysis.
Unreal.
Can I come grab one?
Absolutely. You need an orange slice. If you are into orange slices at all, that is absolute. Am I wrong? How soft is that?
Listen.
Like, it was better than I expected. And I, like, if you're going to be bad, be good.
Yeah, the texture on those are one of a kind, flawless.
I will say it's Circle K snack cart, 2 for $2.
Yeah.
And
I've had many bags of salt and vinegar
Listen,
chips.
I've said it multiple times. I think sometimes people think like they look down on store brand things. The peach rings are my favorite candy, and Circle K's peach rings are my favorite addition. Like, so a lot of times you get candy and they're too hard.
I'm not kidding. These
Circle
are
K's
really,
money.
really good.
Unreal. Unreal.
I fit roll right now.
I love sweet gummies like this,
I know.
and that's why OGs are so good because you get to have an edible that tastes delicious.
Wow.
Orange creamsicle, strawberries and cream, blackberries and cream, like aquaberry. They have so many amazing flavors. It's so good. You can find anything you want for your needs with OGs. The strawberries and cream Happy Balance gummies are live on the shelves. They have microdose. They have sleep edition gummies. Anything you need. You can find them at your local dispensary by checking out ogsbrands.com. You must be 21 or older to enjoy. All right, PD. One more thing I want to talk about before we...
One more? Okay.
Okay.
Oh, one more. Okay. Sorry.
You're talking with your mouth full. I'm so sorry, everyone listening. There's one more thing I want to talk about before we wrap up. So you might have seen a lot. You probably did if you're on social media.
Yeah.
Tons of promotion for the First Friday event featuring Rhuigi, who designed the Desert Knights jersey that the Coyotes wore tonight. The new fashion line for the Arizona Coyotes, which, by the way, I think is unreal. I think all the designs are amazing. I saw them in person today. They were unreal. So Sean and I walked, because we work downtown, which is lucky. We walked down through First Friday and we got to check out the event. I have some video. So first of all, there were a ton of people there. This is the line just to buy the merchandise. And you can kind of see it was a cool warehouse vibe. There was a DJ, but it was like line around the freaking corner. Wow. So it just goes to show how many people were lining up. It was also a cool mix of people, Coyotes fans in Conchita jerseys, people who clearly looked like they were just out and about for First Friday. There were families. There was people of all ages. Just a huge line. Oops. Hello, Sean. And then this is kind of the setting as well. Pictures on the walls. They had multiple screens set up. Like I said, a DJ. They had a place you could buy food. They had 2 different bars. There's Sean making a photo bomb. There's Javier Gutierrez in the background. So it was a very cool setting. It wasn't really what I don't really know what my expectations were.
Yeah, you didn't know what you were expecting.
I will say, Sean and I got in line at 6:14 and we transacted at 7:22. So my recommendation, if anyone's listening who planned this, would be to have more cashiers. I think everyone could have maybe enjoyed the vibes a little more if there was less standing in line. But I will say, shout out Spencer. We got to the front of the line. Spencer's working the cash. Watches the show. So we appreciate you, Spencer, for for saying hello. And Sean, can you put yourself on the screen so we can check out your hat? Sean bought this AZ. It's
got the AZ hat.
Tan. Some cool details on it as well. The cactus that's on the pants of the jersey and a little Arizona Coyotes.
It's on the pants?
You know, like the cactus on the pants.
I thought that was
for Desert Knights.
I thought that was the pants of the hat.
No.
I don't know if you're that into fashion. You knew that was.
Sean, do you have any thoughts? Anything that I didn't say about the event?
No, you summed it up pretty well. I mean, they had free drinks.
Two free. So
free drinks just for showing
if
up.
you had your ID and they checked it, you got 2 free drink tickets.
Yeah.
So honestly, like everything was in place for this to be really cool. They did say they wanted to show the games on the screens, didn't have the capability like they thought they would. Again, I just recommend. I don't know how many people they thought they were going to have. There were so many people, and you can't just have one person working. It was just too long of a line. I'm sorry. But that's my critique of the event.
I didn't go. So I literally have no comment. I will say this. When it comes to fashion, don't listen to me. I have no idea. None. My kid, I showed him the Rhuigi fashion. Fire. I did get something for his friend. You did. Yeah. And he said it's fire. He thought it was fantastic stuff. I don't know if I know much about fashion to say anything. All good. So all good. But anyway. And I wasn't there. Wanted to but it looked cool. Acknowledge the event. It was pretty cool. Looked cool, looked fun. Yep. And we're gonna talk to Javier personally about it. Yep, he is coming in studio next Wednesday. In the suit and sneaks. In the sneaks. He was in the suit and sneaks tonight. Yeah, I love the suit and sneaks. Unreal. So we'll talk to him next Wednesday. I might wear a suit and sneaks when Javier comes. Ooh, you should wear the white, break out the white suit. I'll wear a good suit. Oh wait, because I might go with like the twin. Because he always got that blue one. Yeah. Like, I might go with the blue suit with the sneaks. We should all wear blue. I can lend you some sneakers. We should go. We should all wear blue. Just to because he always wears blue. He goes Nike. Yeah. Anyway, we should talk about it. Just saying. But yeah, we have another super chat from Altex, $5, said, I got to know because it's been itching my mind. Considering how interactive you get with players, how is Cassian? Does he enjoy being here? Love him. We know you love him, Altex. I personally haven't interacted much with him. That might be more of a question for Craig. Say hi to him as he walks by on the way to the ice. Does he love it here? Well, yeah, who doesn't? Yeah, like, pretty good gig for him. Yeah, I think he's... everybody wants to win. And I think he wants more ice time, but I think he likes the city. I think he likes playing hockey in Scottsdale, and he likes the weather. Yeah. I don't think he's having too many bad days right now. Yeah. How about that? Does that qualify as an answer? That's perfect. Yep. All right, let's wrap things up here. Columbus lost. Boo. Anaheim won. Within 1 point of the Yotes now. Crazy how things are shaking out. And what's crazier is the Coyotes' upcoming schedule over the next 2 weeks. It just is absolutely brutal. We got the Devils on Saturday, Blues on Tuesday, Predators on Thursday, Avs on Saturday. At least they're home for 3 straight games, I guess. Devils on Sunday. What did I say? Saturday? I'm sorry. I meant Sunday. Sunday at 5. I literally was looking at Sunday. That team, I don't know if you noticed, they're pretty good too. Yeah. A couple of playoff teams or fringe playoff teams fighting for a position here. It's just a brutal schedule. And like we've already talked about, these last 20 are going to be tough. So buckle up and get ready for some pack therapy and get ready to meet the Wheel of Fantasy because it will be. There's a very good chance we see that. Wait, maybe Sunday. Maybe Sunday. And with that, we should take a look at the punch card because we are 1 away from finishing another line on the punch card. Sunday, we'll get it done. And then we're down to the final 2 lines plus 1 extra. Wow. Guy. Let's go LFG. Good Lord. So wait, and then it's all we got to do. We just got to get through the punch card to get to the ping pong balls. That's it. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to put out positive. I know I was a little negative today, but again, it's we'll end it on positive out. We got to get positive out into the universe for the ping pong balls. Yep. Because the hockey guys are going to shine upon this team for playing the right way all season long. Listen, I don't know why, but like just earlier in the night, I feel it's happening. Let's go. It's happening, Petey. I just feel. Can you imagine? I can picture it. DP I can just on streets of Nashville with the cowboy hats on, rocking the Bedard jerseys. Hell yes, giddy up. You know what they say. Boy howdy. Boy howdy. How many boy howdies am I going to give at 3 a.m. in Nashville with the cowboy hat on? I was waiting for that. Holla and swallow. Do you know what that is? You've heard that one? At the bars in Nashville, you're going to go. I'm going to teach you right now before the draft. So when you go to all these country bars, and every bar is a country bar. So the bars on Broadway, all country bars, and they all have live music. And everyone's they take a break, they go, holla, and they go, ee-ha! And they go, and swallow. All right, I'll drink that. So it's holler and swaller. So there you go. Wow. I'm going to be aggressively cowboyish. Oh my God. Yeah, you and I. Christina and Karen, don't worry. It's coming soon. The draft trip. Everybody save the dates.
we're going.
Yeah, and everybody put their camera phones away too when I roll into the Tootsies because there's going to be no evidence of me
new sheriff
being
in town.
an idiot.
But it's a perfect time to become a diehard because when you become a diehard, not only do you get a free shirt and hat at sign up, 20% off merch, but you also get 20% off events, which includes, any events we would have in Nashville and the event we have coming up on Friday, March 24th. It's the next PHNX Tea Party. PD, we're back at Dobson Ranch for a night of golf, food, drinks, contests, prizes, and more. Come hang out with the PHNX crew, the Suns fans, diehards, as we watch Katie Booker and the Suns battle in the final stretch of the season as they take on the Sacramento Kings. Check the link in the show notes to reserve your spot today. It was a lot of fun last time.
Mm-hmm.
Great food, great vibes,
Yep.
really cool atmosphere. And diehards, check Discord for your exclusive
DP and
discount
Torture made a lot of new
link.
friends.
All right. Anything else before we get out of here? It's past 11.
We'll sum it up.
It's been a long
It was a
day.
6-1 loss to the best team in the Metropolitan Division right now. Trade deadline's over. Let's move on and let's try to find little positives in every game.
We will.
And I promise,
We'll be more positive than tonight.
promise I'm going to find the little positives in every game.
We will.
I'll find something, I promise.
We absolutely will. But like Charles said, wouldn't want to be impact therapy with any other fan, but this one, we truly do appreciate everyone.
Yep.
It makes it completely worth it. 2 shows, 2 times this week in a day. It was a long week. It was a grind. But, shout out you guys and shout out the Coyotes and staff and players for enduring this tough trade deadline and Bill Armstrong. But wild times. So we're all going to take a day tomorrow to regroup, and then we'll be back Sunday for our postgame show after the New Jersey Devils play the Coyotes. But like I said, like this video, subscribe to PHNX Sports on YouTube, hit the notification bell so you never miss when we go live, and subscribe wherever you get your audio podcast as well. Leave us a review. You can follow us on Twitter at SPetersHockey, at Craig S. Morgan, at Leah Merrill, at Sean_DePaz. Follow the show at PHNX_Coyotes. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your Friday night, and we'll see you on Sunday.